Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a thumbs up. 90 Day Fiance couple, Everett and Pedro, are so popular that they survived a number of seasons of Happily Ever After. Now they have their own upcoming spin-off. This show is titled The Family and it premieres in July. In the meantime, we get to see them again for Season 4 of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. Here's what we know about them in the upcoming Happily Ever After. That premieres in 3 days' time, April 28. Get used to seeing more of Everett and Pedro in 90 Day Fiance spin-offs. Reminds fans of the 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After spin-off that despite relationship turmoil, they survived 2 seasons already. Despite all the secrecy and outright lies and deception, they still got a big following in Season 4 of 90 Day Fiance. Of course, with the family coming up as well, one can assume that we will see much more the couple. Is it likely they split? How much material can TLC keep on milking from them now? We hear from Men's Health that the two remain together, but there are issues on the home front. It seems that once again, the police may be involved in the upcoming season. According to Men's Health, a massive fight was rumored to have broken out between and Pedro, with the police being called. Well, we all saw the physical fight between Pedro and Brother River, so yeah, things could easily get out of hand with this twosome. What else we know about Everett and Pedro in 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After? Talking about the fight between Pedro and River, it seems that in the new season, they still didn't kiss and make up. In fact, according to Elle, who wrote on the early premiere, Pedro wants to get away from Brother River. He wants to live in Savannah, Georgia. That would suit the whole family, as long as he left his wife behind. In fact, in the preview, they want to make him an offer he can't refuse, to go away. Anyway, Pedro wants to move, worried about her educational studies. She may not be able to transfer her school credits. In fact, in April, some discussion arose about in college. Someone posted on her Instagram, "I saw on national TV that you were in a community college perusing a bachelor's degree. Girl, the most you can get in a community college is an AA. After some arguments, though, other fans agreed that you can do bachelor programs at many community colleges. So it's believable that concerned about that in the upcoming season of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, the Everett family, as we know, want Pedro gone. They don't trust him, and they grow increasingly convinced he just wants their daughter/sister for the green card. Further spoilers on the show suggest that this didn't change. In fact, still worries about money Pedro sends home and starts thinking maybe her family's right about his motives. Nevertheless, according to Elle, she also wants a baby. What do you think about the fact that Pedro wants to move, wants a baby, but also wants her education? Is Pedro really using just for the green card? Sound off in the comments below. 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. Fans know that went to the Dominican Republic after following Pedro there. However, Pedro and his family really were less than pleased to see her there. Fans were shocked that they didn't even want to host her in the home that Pedro pays for. However, he redeemed himself a little bit. Now, fans note that still wears her ring. 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. Pedro finally does the right thing. Fans of 90 Day Fiance understand that Pedro might feel unwelcome in the USA. However, he also seems to come across as a big shot these days. Maybe being on television turned his head somewhat. After all, that could be a big thing in the Dominican Republic. Actually, he comes across as being very entitled. So fans were a bit shocked that a married man like him could just take off for home without his wife. In fact, he never even gave a date when she could expect his return. TV shows Ace reported that arrived in the DER, and Pedro's mom and sister made a lot of noise about that. However, after much family drama, Pedro redeemed himself somewhat. On 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, finally, Pedro told his mom he was leaving with that came after stood up to the family bullying her. Briefly, fans felt some appreciation that Pedro stepped up for once. The next preview, though, how's Pedro's sister starting up the drama again. And she's like so way involved in this marriage, it's getting silly. So fans really don't know how long-lived Pedro's newfound manhood will last. In fact, below.